Well, missing evidence from a decades-old sexual assault case in Thunderbolt has now been found at the police department. Today, criminal investigators in the Georgia Innocence Project reviewed materials connected to Sandeep Sunny Baradia, who was previously convicted in this case. WSV's Nikaya Harris was also there. She joins us now in the studio with the latest.
That's right, Andrew. This incident dates back to 2001 when a woman in Thunderbolt reported being attacked in her home. Baradia was convicted in 2003 and spent nearly half his life in prison. His conviction was dismissed in 2024 after a judge ruled that critical evidence had not been presented at trial, allowing for the possibility of a new trial. Now today, prosecutors and investigators reviewed evidence that had been missing at the Thunderbolt Police Department for more than 20 years, including a rape kit, police reports, witness statements, medical records, and the original photo lineup. Chatham County District Attorney Shalina Jones called a meeting at the department to make sure every piece of evidence is accounted for. Investigators say the items had been scattered across multiple locations and never properly stored. The Georgia Innocence Project helped Baradia secure a habeas ruling that allowed him to seek a new trial and is now reviewing the newly discovered evidence alongside prosecutors.
We will take all of the evidence pertaining to this case into custody, and we will review it to assess whether or not additional or future criminal charges are warranted. And that's going to take a thorough review. We'll have to put the case file back together and make a decision on whether to prosecute and whom to charge, if anyone.
Now, Jones wouldn't put a timeline on any of the evidence or if there will be a new trial. We're continuing to follow this story. Tonight on WSCV News 3 at 6, we'll have a response from the town of Thunderbolt regarding the newly discovered evidence and what it could mean for this decades-old case. Nikaya Harris, WSCV News 3 on your side.
Nikaya, thanks so much. A man accused of leading Savannah police on a high-speed chase and causing a deadly crash has now been released on bond. Investigators say it was March of last year when officers tried to pull over Kenneth Gordon because the car he was driving was linked to a shooting. Police say Gordon then ended up crashing into another car, killing 60-year-old Darren Lewis. Now he faces a number of charges, including 3 counts of homicide by vehicle. This morning, a judge set Gordon's bond at $25,000. He's also forbidden to drive, to drink, or to do drugs, or to have any contact with Lewis's widow. Now, we've been telling you about that when that crash happened last year when Gordon was out on bond in a separate Port Wentworth case. That's where he was accused of fleeing and attempting to elude officers. Well, today, Kathy Lewis, the wife of Darren Lewis, talked with WSAV about her reaction to today's bond hearing. She's calling it disappointing.
My initial reaction was a little disappointing, a little angry. I've already been in a low place this morning, and to get that information was very disappointing. I mean, they said because he served a year already, but I've lost a life forever. Yes.
Got some new developments now as Javaris White has been charged in the fatal shooting of his brother in Liberty County. Shooting happened yesterday at a residence in the 1600 block of West Oglethorpe Highway. That's where a 16-year-old was shot after an argument with his brother, according to the Liberty County Sheriff's Office. White now has been charged with murder and felony probation violation. Continuing coverage now of the man found guilty of punching a 66-year-old who later died at a Wilmington-Arlene bar back in 2019. He was back in the courtroom today, and attorneys say conversations that happened during the night of the verdict may not be justifiable. WSV's Jillian Coles in the Chatham County courtroom today joins us now with what happened. Jillian?
Charles Steeple's attorney claims a comment from a Chatham County Sheriff's deputy during deliberations may have influenced how quickly the jury reached their guilty verdict. Today, 10 jurors in this case took the stand as attorneys questioned what exactly was said that night. Attorneys asked jurors about whether they heard any conversation with the deputy about how long deliberations would go on if they couldn't reach an agreement, and what response she gave back if so. Prosecutors called in 8 of the jurors. Some recall hearing the talk about staying late, and others do not. Those who did hear it say the deputy answered with an "I don't know" or a shrug. The deputy testified that she doesn't remember whether or not this discussion happened, but 2 jurors called by the defense say otherwise.
While the jury was deliberating, including yourself, did you hear the bailiff make any statements about how long the jury might have to remain that evening?
Yes.
To the best of your memory, what were the words that were used?
To the best of my memory, it was something along the lines of, you might have to be here until 10 or 11 o'clock. I don't know.
Now, Teeple was supposed to be sentenced in March, but now that is set for June 1st. After that, this conflict hearing is set to continue. 3 jurors from this case who were able to make today's hearing are still to take the stand for questioning on June 22nd. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Jillian, thanks so much. We're going to turn over to golf now as the Masters tees off in less than 2 days. 91 competitors hoping to don the green jacket at the end of Sunday. Our sports director Joey Lamar caught up with one former Bluffton native who looks to etch his name into history.
Yeah, I spoke yesterday with Brian Campbell after he played 9 holes here at Augusta National Golf Club. He said 2026 is not going as well as 2025. The reason that he believes is because of a swing change he's going through. He thinks that a swing change will give him the long-term goals that he wants, but in the short term, it has not produced the results he desires. Just to give you a comparison, this time last year, the Illinois alum had already secured his first PGA career victory when he won the 2025 Mexico Open. Later in the season, he won the John Deere Classic, which secured his spot in the 2026 Masters. However, this season has not yielded the results Campbell desires. In 9 starts, he's made 2 cuts and has not finished in the top 25.
Had some glimpses of good stuff. I've been really honestly working a lot on swing stuff, mechanics, getting stronger. And so when that happens, now I'm bringing in long, as opposed to being short. So almost every green long is horrible, so you never want to do that.
Campbell is currently 179th in the FedEx Cup point standings. The top 100 players at the end of the season get a full-time card for next year. One final note about the swing change to Brian Campbell. He said he's about 70% happy with the results so far. And on Thursday, he'll be paired with Andrew Novak and Tom McKibben in the first and second rounds of the Masters. Reporting from Augusta, I'm Joey Lamar, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
Well, this afternoon we are checking out traffic along I-95 northbound heading towards South Carolina. There's the bridge crossing over the Savannah River, flowing smoothly through the construction zone in this vantage point. Just some minor delays, though, with a little bit of a slowdown there. But May River Road and 278 flowing smoothly right now through Bluffton toward Beaufort. The conditions are looking pretty good as well. But out of the city, heading westbound along 16, some minor delays at I-95 and again past Poor Parkway heading toward Little Neck Road with speeds down to around 45 miles per hour at times. But once you head further to the west, conditions definitely improve on the roadways, taking just over 40 minutes to get from downtown Savannah into Bullitt County.